Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Life Fisherman. We're going to do a how-to video today on our own boat here. We're going to upgrade the batteries, and most importantly for this video, we're going to put in a dual battery isolator. It's a charging relay, so the reason why this is a nice thing and I would recommend you getting one, what it basically does is when the crank battery reaches 13.2 volts, this relay will open up and it diverts the excess charging voltage because it's not going anywhere at that point. The crank battery is fully charged. It takes that voltage from the main motor and puts it over to the house battery, so it charges while the engine is running. And if that goes below 13.2 volts, it switches back and the charging voltage will go back to your crank battery. What that allows to happen is your house battery is getting a charge while you're running around. Right now my house battery will only charge when I'm at home and I have my onboard battery charger plugged in, or if I happen to switch it to 1 and 2, which I only recommend doing that in emergencies, or switch it to battery 2 on the battery switch. So this allows the house battery to get a charge out on the water while you're driving around without worrying about the position of your battery switch and switching it around while you're running, which you have to be careful, because you don't want to switch that battery switch while the engine's running, because you can cause a voltage spike. So we're going to install that today. Pretty straight up simple install, but we're going to go over it, and if you're watching this, it's something I recommend you doing. It's really simple install. It's really a 2-wire install. I'm going to use a 10 gauge wire. You're just running that from your start battery to the start battery post, and then from your second battery or house battery to the second post on here, and that's it. It does all the rest. So this is the one I would recommend. It's the Sea Dog line isolator. So you can find these on Amazon as well. So check out our Amazon affiliate link down in the description. I'll have a link to this in there. There's also some other ones I'll put in there that aren't this name brand, but they're basically the exact same thing. And then there's also a Blue Sea Systems one. That one's a little bit more money and has a different sense wire on it. So this is just an easier install, and it's a little less money. It's around 80 or 90 bucks, this one. So first thing we got to do is figure out, of course, where you're gonna mount it. And I think I'm gonna mount mine right here. I'm gonna have to take this ground wire off of my fuse block, and I'm gonna mount it right there, and then put the ground wire back on when I'm done. There's also, this is the ground wire that just hooks to your battery ground. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna upgrade from a Group 24 cranking battery with 550 cold cranking amps to a Group 27 cranking battery with 800 cranking amps. This also has a larger reserve capacity, so I can run more things off of it without having to switch over to the house battery as often. And then on the house battery side, I'm going to a Group 31 deep cycle over a Group 27 deep cycle that I have right now. Also gonna give me more usage out of it. I'll be able to run it longer. It has a larger reserve capacity and a larger battery, so it's gonna last quite a bit longer out there. With the upgraded fish finders, I got 2 fish finders and all these LED lights I'm running in here at night, along with also powering GoPros and smartphones and everything else that it just eats up a lot of juice. So it's a good thing to upgrade your battery system and then also put this isolator in. All right, so we're getting some 10 gauge wire here, and we're going to start running it over to where the house battery is, and then the short one over here where the crank battery is, and get it all ready. You have to install the wire here. You can pop out these little things here, the little cutouts, when you decide which way you're running your wire. They got them on each side. So we're gonna figure all that out before we mount it, because this all has to be hooked up before you go ahead and mount it. And you can just bend that, pop that right off. This is going to the house battery, so that will be the second positive battery right here. That's your house battery. I'm just using duplex wire because it's what I have, but I'm splitting it and taking just the positive side out. You can get just single red, or me, I do quite a bit of boat wiring stuff, so I buy duplex wire on Amazon. You can get Anchor Marine brand or Cobra, or they have several different brands, but just make sure it's a marine grade wire. Save that for later. So your start battery, your cranking battery, will go to that one. It's written in there on that circuit board. Start batteries with the red post, and then your house battery there, and then this one you run out here, and it'll attach to the ground on your crank battery. I mean, that's pretty much it there for the crank battery.
Just hooking it all back up.
Yeah.
You just added one, right? Basically.
Yeah, that wire, the charge wire, and then the negative wire coming off of the isolator, going to that battery, and then we're running the second battery wire over to the second battery. Now we'll install that second battery. All right, guys, well, that's how you install one of those battery isolators. When that red light comes on, when that LED comes on, that means it's switching the charging voltage, is charging your house battery. If the red light's not on, then that means it's charging your crank battery. It cuts in, the relay cuts in at 13.2 and cuts out at 12.8. So when your crank battery drops to 12.8, it'll cut out and start charging that back up, and it'll just keep floating back and forth between. Keep both of your batteries fully charged, so you don't have to worry about your house battery going dead, or your or your crank battery going dead, and keeps both batteries ready to go for you, especially if you're out bumping stereos and stuff like that. A lot of boats now are going away from the battery switch. Even a lot of the party fancy pontoon boats and stuff I work on, they don't even have a battery switch. You can hook up everything you want your house battery to run, your stereos, your lights, and all that stuff to your house battery, and just hook your engine up to the crank battery, and then you have an isolator. So you don't even have to worry about switching back and forth. When you turn your radio on and your amp on, all that stuff's running off your house battery. You don't even have to switch it. And then your crank battery's staying completely healthy, and just your engine is hooked to that. So you never have to worry about, is your engine going to start when you go to leave. That's another way of doing your battery setup with an isolator instead of a battery switch. But I like to run them both so that I can run everything off of either battery. So it's a good way for insurance, basically. It lets you have that as a backup battery if you need it. If your crank battery were to go bad, you can crank everything and run everything from the house battery still with a battery switch. So we're going to be doing since I pulled these two batteries out of the boat today, I'm actually going to be doing a video here soon. It's something I've wanted to do. I'm basically going to do a boat wiring setup outside of a boat. I'm going to wire in a battery switch. We're going to wire in a fuse block. We're going to put some lights and some live well pumps and stuff like that, bilge pumps. We're going to hook that stuff up, but outside of a boat. I'm going to try to wire it up, and we're going to mount it on some plywood, and so you guys can see exactly how everything is wired on a boat wiring system, and kind of make it a little bit easier to see and understand. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you have any questions, shoot me a comment below, and I try to get back to all your guys' comments and questions. And check out all of our Amazon links. We're trying to put Amazon links on all of our videos now. So a lot of the things that you see and I'll use, we're going to link on Amazon. And if you go through the link, purchase the stuff on Amazon, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps the channel out a little bit. So thanks for that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.